on tonight.
Hello, everybody. I am here with Alastaire, and he is here to discuss his book, Vegan Power. I'm really happy to have you here, Alex. And Alex, you were
Thank you.
asking as we were sort of transitioning about how many authors. I think it's been, gosh, I don't even know how many we're at. I know after this, I have 5 more, so I can tell you, I can tell you how many are left, but not how many we've done. I always look back and go like, wow, that was like pretty crazy, right? And so I try to pack the day as full as possible. And the goal is always 24 authors in 12 hours. For those of you who are listening right now, I'm recruiting people for February 14th, Valentine's Day. I'm looking for romance authors, romantasy, rom-com, poetry. If you write in any of those genres and you're looking for a free interview, this is your place, and it gets shared out to multiple links, multiple stations. And the power is by promoting your book. So I'm really promoting mine. So Alex, welcome again to the show. Winsome Duncan said you are absolutely phenomenal, and share with us about your book, Vegan Power. And I'm going to share the link for Amazon who is anybody interested in the chat. Go ahead, Alex.
Appreciate it. Vegan power is very important to me because it's actually shaped my lifestyle and my whole life and being. Unfortunately, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at the age of 23, which left me in a wheelchair not too long after that. And as a result of a shift in mindset and a shift in um, diet, I was able to relearn how to walk again, and I had to change my whole career path, and I became a personal trainer. So I feel like the whole thing comes hand in hand, and nutrition is very beneficial only because it's either going to fuel you or it's going to be your poison. So I'm just trying to do the best I can to make it easier for myself and other people by sharing these recipes, bringing them together, showing people what can be blended together, what goes well together, and how these different blends will help you.
So, do you feel that this nutrition plan that you went on and drinking these smoothies, among other things, has had a positive impact on you and this terrible disease, MS? If you could maybe share some of those connections.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like with these different recipes, it's obviously each one has a different benefit. It's not just for people with multiple sclerosis, and it's not just for people who follow a vegan or plant-based diet. Anybody can have it. It's just a substitute or a healthier alternative that you can consume. All of these things will help you with, let's say, a lot of my female clients, I'm a personal trainer, so a lot of my female clients will have bloating. Bloating issues are a very big thing, and we're trying to remove those things by having like cleaner products or ingredients that you're consuming to help you get through your day and make sure that you're in a better way so that your day can go a lot smoother.
I think that's real important. What made you think, aha, like I absolutely need to write this down and need to put this into a book?
Well, you know what? It was that every day I used to post it on Instagram. I used to show people what I was blending each and every day. And then a lot of people started to feel, oh, this is quite insightful. This is quite helpful because I'd explain what the different smoothies are beneficial for. And then from there, my friend said to me, listen, you know what? The way you're getting good reviews from it, you might as well just collate them all and make that into a recipe book. So I did that, making it a lot easier for other people. And uh, people are actually asking me to make a second book, but I said to them, you have to slow down for now, man. Let's digest it.
So a second book, is that in your future, or
Yeah,
what
potentially.
is your current events and kind of where are you going from here?
Potentially, I feel like the bigger picture is to helping people to find that fitness is actually accessible and you can do it in your own little way. And I feel like if you were to tie in nutrition and fitness hand in hand, you could increase the longevity of the life.
And Alex, I really want to build on that a minute. A lot of what we've been talking today is about goals, goal setting, things like that. But mental, physical, emotional health, those things are all inherently intertwined. And so I really kind of want to highlight like that physical health, like that is super important. But when you are in a better physical health place, you're going to be like in a better state mentally. You're going to be in a better state emotionally, and all these things really, really do tie together. What has been your experience with that as somebody 23, you find out you have MS, you're devastated. I mean, this is a disease that, like you said, like a lot of people end up in that wheelchair and they don't get out of. How did you mentally and emotionally have that fortitude to then go ahead and say, no, I'm not going to let this disease beat me. I'm going to really overcome this and be out there now and out there actually as a physical trainer and a nutritionist helping others?
Uh, to be honest with you, it was mentally draining. It was a bad part of my life, I would say, to be able to accept, not even accept, to digest what was being said to me. The doctor said to me, listen, look, you're not going to be able to walk again. And to this day, sometimes I do remember it, but I don't actually fault the doctor for saying that to me because for everything that I've had to sacrifice or the discipline that I've had to install into my life, it's not for the weak. I've had to do a lot in order to get to where I am. So for the people that aren't willing to put in that hard work, or for that people that aren't ready to um, commit their lives to a better way of living or a healthier way of living, it's not really going to work out in your favor. And as you were saying, once you're in a better place mentally, normally the physical follows after that. So they both go hand in hand for me.
So really important thing there. Another thing that's been kind of a theme throughout the day that we end up talking about is your network, right? Like being an island is not really effective. Just like Winsome is this force of nature of like, I'm going to connect all these people. What was the importance to you? Who was like your network? What are your recommendations of getting through something like this? Because really something like this is not something that you get through alone.
I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Sebi and his alkaline diet. It was really helpful. That was probably one of the first people that I came across when I learned about a plant-based diet. Also, I was watching documentaries like What the Health, and these gave us a greater insight to kind of understand like, oh, what's going on here? And it kind of made me delve into it, go down that rabbit hole of just doing further research, not self-diagnosing myself, but just doing further research to the question that I need the answers for, you know? So I feel like as you go deeper into a topic, you kind of understand a lot more as you start asking the right question.
No, I think that's an important thing too. Is I mean, doctors, medical professionals are going to give you so much information, and then depending on where you're at, depends on the treatments. I know that a lot of times in Europe, I spent quite a bit of time living over in Europe. They do a lot more homeopathic remedies, whereas here in the United States, one of the first things is go to big pharma, give you drugs, and I definitely lean more towards, I know what's wrong with me. You know why I feel bad? Because I drank too much wine last night. Like I don't need you to tell me like what's gonna fix it. I didn't really drink too much wine last night, but that's an example of what happens. Or like why are you feeling bad? Why are your knees hurt? Well, I probably need to lose 20 pounds or whatever it is that is in there. Like we kind of know intuitively and being able to say, you know what, I'm not going to go to big pharma. I'm not going to get these weight loss drugs. I'm going to look for a healthy eating. And let's talk a little bit more about what's in these recipes. What are the common things that you have found in really creating like healthy smoothies to take somebody who's got a terrible disease, MS, a disease that could have completely impaired the rest of your life to the point of you being a physical trainer. What kind of foods and ingredients are you looking for to put in there? Because the ingredients have to matter a lot too.
Yeah, 100%. I thought the main ingredient within all of the smoothie is sea moss. Sea moss contains 98 of the 108 vital minerals that you need within your body. So, 92, sorry, of the 102 vital minerals. And I feel like with that, there's a lot of food that we consume, and its nutrition value isn't as high as it should be due to the processing, due to the manufacturing, due to them trying to speed up the rapid production of them. So we need as many different like healthy supplements and different things like that to basically boost our health. Unfortunately, there's a number of different other supplements. For example, anything that will improve or boost my immune system, I have to try and stay away from those type of things because with my condition, I need to keep my immune system as stable as possible. But otherwise, for example, if I have like ginger that is high in anti-inflammatory properties, or blueberries that is high in antioxidant. So all of these things are very beneficial putting them together. Within the smoothies, there are no sugar. So you don't have to worry about putting on weight or anything like that. It's just all natural sugar. Yes, I understand that fruit has a high sugar intake, but within reason, you'll be all right.
No, I think some super important things to point out there. I grow my own garden, and one thing I really love about growing my own garden is that I know that in the summertime, the vegetables that I'm eating, I know how those plants were growing. And even when you read something organic, I was reading an article about like you don't know if you have an organic field, but all the fields around it are being treated with chemicals. That chemical can still leach in. And you brought up a big point that I wanted to touch on, and I know it's a problem here in the U.S., but I think also becoming a growing problem around the globe is the treatment of our food through big manufacturing. You want to touch on about that and what you've learned in your journey, in your health journey?
Yeah, that's actually crazy you mentioned it. I actually watched a documentary a few years back, and basically what they were trying to do is make the perfect tomato. And with that, they were trying to increase the shelf life, but unfortunately, with the chemicals that they put inside of it, it made the taste go a bit dull. And the guy was basically like, "Oh, just put a bit of olive oil and it'll be okay." And then the woman, the interviewer, said to him, "Listen, they're going to be testing the nutritious value of the tomatoes soon." And he took offense to it. He was like, "Oh, I don't know what type of sick experiment that is." But realistically, he's the one that's doing the original experiment, trying to increase the shelf life, trying to increase the rate of production. And there's little to no nutritious value within these vegetables. So it, even when they used to say an apple a day would keep the doctor away, then it went to five fruit a day. Then it's gone up and up and up. It keeps on going up because the nutritious value is going down. So it's really hard to stay on top of it, and that's why people are going to doing the different cosmetic things where they're taking different boosters and different vitamin boosters and etc., just to stay healthy.
No, I think such an important point. And here in the United States, it's been extreme. And finally, they are doing away with some of these dyes and chemicals that we put on our food. And many of those dyes and chemicals were petroleum based. And I was talking to my sister the other night, like, who thinks it is a good plan to put little petroleum products into the foods that we're consuming? Like, that is very, very scary. You were talking about the diagnosis and now you're a personal trainer. How do you help others in their journey?
I help people reach their goal. I try and identify different problems that they might have, or just any sort of hurdles that they might have that are basically preventing them from moving forward. And I feel like it's very important because sometimes most people know what the problem is. They know the answers to their problems. It's just for someone else outside of that to basically identify it for them to come to their own realization. I try not to tell people what to do. I let them work it out for themselves, kind of thing. Like I'll prompt them into the right direction, but ultimately, it's very important that people come to their own realization so that they actually follow it through. They commit to it. They understand where they could basically improve, and then move forward from there. I feel like, well, none of my clients are impaired, they're all able bodied. That's for one. So I have to make sure that I'm on track. I need to make sure that I'm staying healthy myself. I need to be setting the right example. I wouldn't tell any of my clients to do something that I can't do myself, or I wouldn't do myself, I should say.
I really appreciate your sharing that. And what I'm going to just share with everybody is this show, 24 Authors in 12 Hours. This is an author helping author event. Today I did some open mic because I did not fill all the slots. This is 100% at no cost to the authors who come on and interview. My goal is to just share their stories. What I will say is sharing their stories help me to share mine, my books, Decoding History, The Project Manager, The Consummate Communicator are all available for free Kindle download today. I'm going to ask if you could please download these books, write reviews for these books, like and subscribe for my books. It would really just mean a lot to me. And one of the things I do want to touch on is you're an author, and one of the most important things being an author is when you get your books out there is that you get these reviews. How have you been and what kind of feedback have you gotten? Has any of the feedback surprised you?
A lot of the feedback is towards like how people have shifted their life, or they've made certain changes, or they've seen certain results, and I feel like it's it's very uplifting to hear, like, for example, someone that you have no relation to, you don't know, and they literally write a review about you, or you actually bump into them. Let's say when I was out, I bumped into a few people, or just connected with other people in the world, and they're actually quite stunned by my story, or how far I've come, or what type of things I implement into my life to help them, myself. So, um, honestly, it's an honor. It's an honor to be able to help other people help themselves.
That is wonderful. Alex, I'm going to share your link in here again. And just to remind everybody, these are recorded after this. I also share them on my Spotify, on my account there, the Author's Cut. If you go to the page where I shared for our donations, as well as our merchandise, such as these cool cups, definitely you can check those out. From all of the different streams. If you are an author and you want to be featured in my February 14th interviews, once again, absolutely no cost. The cost is your time. And I know your time is your most precious resource. It is going to be romance, romantasy, rom-coms, poetry. I've got some great authors lined up, but I still need a lot more. So reach out to me, DM me, make a comment, and I will get back to you, and let's make this happen, because authors helping authors, this is how we spread the love, spread the wealth, share these books, share these stories, and then share the stories behind the book. You might look at this and go, this is a vegan smoothie book, but now you watch this and you're like, this is a story of a man who overcame a terrible disease and is sharing literally his cure. So thank you so much for that, Alex.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Okay. Anything you want to share before we go to our next guest?
Yeah, no. So, in the midst of me being an author, I actually create a lot of content around traveling, how it's accessible to still live your life with such a disease. So, every week I produce a vlog on YouTube. It's just giving people more insight of different ways to stay healthy, different ways when you're traveling, or events that are accessible. Just making sure that people still understand it's more so your mindset that allows you to keep on going. So just as you said,
Perfect.
good mindset, hopefully a good physicality, and positive vibes always.
And Alex, if you could share those in the comments after you're off, so our viewers know how to reach you, that'd be really appreciated. I'm going to go ahead and we are going to wrap this up, and we're going to go to our next scheduled speaker. Thank you so much, everyone, for being out there, for supporting, for liking our channel, and thank you, Alex, for just coming on here and doing open mic.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.